This video is the second part of forms. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to that form that I created from the first video. In that first video, we talked about form setup and reports. Now we're actually going to create the form. In this change field section, you have a lot of different choices for the type of questions that you're going to do and the kind of format that it will be in. So for example, single line text box, that's just if they just need a single line of information that they're going to type in. If they're going to have to explain an answer and use several sentences, you would want to do multi-line text box. Check boxes allow the person to answer and check off several different choices, so they're not just limited to one answer. A radio button is similar to multiple choice, where they do only get to select one answer choice. And then drop down is basically that, where they get a drop down menu of choices and they select one. So for the first example, we're going to use a radio button and hit apply. And the first question we'll set up is, what is your favorite color? Now, that's a pretty self-explanatory question, so I really don't need to go in further detail about the question and what they need to do. So I'm going to leave that description section empty. For options, I need to give them some choices. So we do this by typing in an answer choice and then separating them out with a semicolon. So red, semicolon, yellow, blue, purple. And that's good enough, just to get an idea. So we're going to save changes. Oh, I'm sorry. Also down here, you want to put a 10 in there. Then that way your questions won't be so smushed together. So 10 seems to be a pretty good number. So if you'll put 10 in that little field, then save changes again, preview, and there's your first question. That's what it looks like. Now, if you want it to be required, like you want their name to be on the form and you want that to be a required field, then you need to select this. Okay, so I am going to select it because I do want to know what their favorite color is. Okay, so now we're going to add a new question. This time we're going to do check boxes, and I want to place it after the current question that I just set up. So I'm going to select that, hit apply. Now my next field comes up. So on this one, choose your top 3 favorite sports. I don't really need a description, but on my options, I'm going to put golf, tennis, swimming, football, basketball, volleyball, cross country. So that gives them enough choices. Remember, I'm going to put a 10 here, save changes, and then I'm going to preview, and now I have 2 questions so far for my form. Okay? So that's what it'll look like when they visit your site. That number 10 that we keep putting in between each one, that just gives it enough space so that your questions aren't one on top of the other. So that kind of gives you an idea of how to set up. You just keep going and adding and removing, or adding questions. If you mess up, if you messed up on one, you can just click right here, permanently delete this form field, and it'll just delete that one question that you had created. Okay? So I hope this helps. Thanks so much.